Good afternoon, viewers. If you are just joining us, we are live at Pipeline to talk to lawyer Ousainou Darboe. As you can see, he just cast his vote. And here is Momodu Savali, the campaign manager of United Democratic Party. Sometimes under some difficult circumstances, but history is certainly
Thank you.
this is situation of some unhealthy situations probably going up in Banjul. I understand the police intervention unit asking people to go away from the polling area, I think which is right, but it cannot be confined to only UDP. They are allowing the NPP supporters and the NPP candidate to congregate around the polling stations. That is wrong. If you ask the other parties to go away, you should also ask the NPP supporters to go away. There should be equality before the law. You cannot be discriminated against. You cannot apply different standards to us because we belong to the position. And I just want to remind the security of what the ERRC has said. You've seen how some of the security officers were humiliated. You do not want yourself to be part of that history. You want history to judge you well. Please perform your duty, but let it be balanced. There should be no discrimination. If you don't allow UDP supporters to be around the police to be around the police area, and of course, the distance is measured by the electoral. A certain distance you must keep away, and if you enforce that, you must enforce it against the NPP guys, so that you know that the security will be treating us all fairly. I want to ask the IG to please come out and address this man, just as the CDS has addressed this man. I think the CDS is really showing himself to be the security officer that he should be, not favoring anybody. And I want the IGP also to take similar action so that we continue to have confidence in this institution. Otherwise, we'll be tempted to think that the PIU is probably the armed wing of the NPP, and that will not be good for this country. Thank you all.
Thank you again, gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. All right, so no, CD, yeah, okay, let's say team CD, I need no na elo you come for security. You may CD, yeah, like I'm move up at your two times in the calendar. You go. Mani yasubiri yake saladi. Mabu jioni na really quick from the top. Kamera ba ko kamera ba.
Ina ji Usman.
Wal mbuka jiyo ke frijo kono ba he has enough water. Jabi. Well, anyway, not to give more inside. No, cover no.
If you are just joining us, you are watching the Digest News, and we are live at Pipeline at lawyer Ousainou Darboe's house. Yes.
We have been going ups and downs from CRR, URR, LRR, coming up and down, campaigning for your candidates. How optimistic are you that your candidates will emerge victorious at the end of the day?
Well, thank you, by the way, for coming to cover this very historic vote. His Excellency the Honorable Ousainou Darboe, Party Leader and Secretary General of the United Democratic Party, and the face and mind and heart of the December 2016 revolution, presiding over yet another electoral activity here. I think is quite significant for the Republic of the Gambia, and I emphasize the word republic because that's what brings us together, regardless of our tribes, our religious affiliations, and even political affiliations. And here you have the man I call the chief Republican in the history of this country. Before he came into politics, when he's in politics, he's always been there for the best interest of the Republic. So thank you for covering that and for all the work you've all been doing during this electoral cycle. The Democratic Party has canvassed votes from corner to corner. Our candidates have presented their manifestos. They have discussed their programs with the electorate according to the laws and rules of the electoral game. And we are proud of all of them, from Rahimani Klu in Banjul down to Fode Danyo in Ase. Having seen the reaction of the voters travel across the length and breadth of the country, I don't expect anything but a landslide victory by the United Democratic Party in this election. And I know that victory would be a victory for the Gambia, because the situation of this country is in a very deplorable state, with rampant corruption, hyperinflation due to macroeconomic instability, depreciation of the dollar, poor health services marked by this acute kidney injury disease that's killing infants in their thousands, youth unemployment on the rise, with the government not even having an idea what the youth unemployment rate is, talk less of solutions. Deportation and equal balance, but the head of the NPP. I know Gambians don't want this. Gambians detest this, and Gambians will cast their votes to show Barrow that they are casting a vote of no confidence in him and casting a vote of approval and endorsement for His Excellency the Honorable Ousainou Darboe and his team of brilliant, young, and dynamic patriotic candidates from Ghana.
There are a lot of issues going on right now. Reports are emerging from Goodview that PIU officers were deployed there, and then Banjul, KM. This is now getting big. As the campaign manager of your party, what is your reaction to this?
Well, my reaction is simply the reaction of my party leader, that to tell the powers that be, especially the police and interior department, to restrain their men to just do their job and not cross the line by intimidating opposition party supporters. That whatever treatment is handed to opposition, especially UDP, should be the same treatment handed to NPP. Beyond that, I'm just going to call on Gambian voters, Koina to Kartong, to insist on exercising their democratic right, their constitutionally guaranteed right of casting their votes for their candidates of choice. And I know Adama Barrow, with his interior minister, because he said he's going to give instructions to him, who is Siaka Sonko, unfortunately, somebody who should have been a role model and a bright example for these young and upcoming police officers, has become now the face and the symbol of tyranny and oppression and injustice in this country. But I know they have no powers to stop anybody from casting their votes. So all I will say, Gambians, go out there peacefully and in an orderly manner, cast your votes. Nobody can stop you from doing that. And let's do that, go home and wait for our results, and we'll come out in the streets and celebrate with this victory, inshallah.
Talib told the media that 4 of UDP supporters were arrested last night, and then they were taken to Majum Real Estate, which is owned by the president. Later, they were referred to the PIU office in Westfield. Are you aware of this as the campaign manager of the UDP? If yes, what steps have you taken?
I think it's quite unfortunate, and it just shows how President Barrow and his NPP have targeted Talib Ahmed Bensouda even before the elections. It started off with sending armed paramilitary guards to go and break one of the doors of Talib's office at KMC. And Talib Ahmed Bensouda does not deserve that. KMC does not deserve that. Talib has always conducted himself with the greatest respect, with decorum, and with special respect for President Barrow. So I don't know why President Barrow and his agents and his relatives have decided to make Talib Ahmed Bensouda their enemy, because Talib is not their enemy. Talib is just there to serve his people. All he has done in his campaign is to present his development agenda. So I don't know where this hatred and enmity is coming from. But I believe the best judge in this matter is the Gambian voter. You go out there and decide whether you want to entrench and empower tyranny, injustice, and oppression, or you want to vote for intelligence, patriotism, peacefulness, development, and progress. This is the job of the Gambian voter today.
Mr. Sabali, we have seen incidents surfacing yesterday night, which culminated to a lot of fracas, using of tear gas and the arrest of young people, which is alleged are not part of the security sector of this country. And we have also seen a lot of incendiary remarks during campaign period. The one that even stand out was the statement that was uttered by the president hours before the election, that young people can go out and do anything because the president is not afraid. They have the powers, and they will mobilize young people that will be mounting all polling stations. What do you learn from this statement, and what could this statement lead to during post-election?
Well, I think what happens is whatever is happening today in terms of lawlessness that's being carried out by supporters of NPP and some members of the paramilitary, it's proudly sponsored by Adam Barrow. But what we want Barrow to know and his people is that where Yaya Jammeh, with all his might, with all his power, could not prevent Gambians from voting him out in 2016, Barrow can never, will never ever be able to intimidate Gambians against voting for their candidates of choice. I don't want to put any more words on this, because even discussing this is further gives Barrow and his gang of thugs undeserved relevance. My message is for Gambians to go and vote, go vote peacefully, but make sure you are determined and courageous to cast your vote. It's a right guaranteed by the Constitution. It's your God-given right. Go and do that and leave the less rest to us, the leadership of the United Democratic Party, under His Excellency Alhaji Ousainou Darboe. That's all we want for Gambians to do. Go out and vote, vote peacefully, and sit down and wait for us. We will handle this situation, inshallah.
So finally, Sabali, a lot of people are saying that when you assume as the campaign manager for the United Democratic Party, we have seen unprecedented number of people that are coming out to support the United Democratic Party. Here we're not only talking about Talib, but we're talking about Malik Yankuba Darboe and other candidates for the United Democratic Party throughout the campaign period. Are you expecting a larger landslide victory for all the UDP candidates immediately after this mayoral and chairman's election?
But most definitely, I think Gambians have come out en masse to respond to the call of our candidates, who are all brilliant in their own rights, all exceptional. Most of them incumbent, been there, done it, tried and tested. People love these people. People trust them. People trust the leadership of His Excellency, the Honorable Lawyer Ousainou Darboe, who is the mentor and the inspirer and guide of all these brilliant candidates we have. But UDP is the most structured party in this country. I dare say there is no party bigger, more resilient, more structured than the United Democratic Party on the entire African continent. And this is thanks to our leadership, thanks to our women mobilizers, our young campaigns, our youth mobilizers, our supporters from around the world, the UDP diaspora. These are the people who are making things happen. I may be the face of it as national campaign manager, but there is a deep-rooted structure that is that deserves the credit to everything that's happening on the outside in terms of the progress we are making. And we are very hopeful that, inshallah, it will be manifested in the results. And Gambians who are not even UDP, and there are many of them. During Young Darboe's last campaign, we had the chairman for West Coast region for GMC come out and endorse Young Darboe. Mama Kande, who I have rightfully coronated as the King of Gimara, has come out to endorse Talib Bensouda and some of our candidates. We've seen Citizens Alliance Samba Nying in Upper Nyomi, a former candidate for Citizens Alliance, endorsing our candidate Malamin Bojang in NBR, the young people of Medina Sering Mass. So what we are looking forward to is a massive victory that would be a victory for the whole of the Gambia, not just UDP, because we've had broad-based support, overwhelming support from other political parties, from non-partisan Gambians who think that the future of this country, a better future, a brighter future, lies in the hands of UDP.
But a quick follow-up. Mama Kande just came out to refute claims that he asked anybody, or this party doesn't endorse Yakuba Darboe at West Coast, and go by far refuting the claims that were aired by King FM.
Well, there was nothing to refute in anything, and I would not say Mama refuted anything. What Mama Kande said was plain, simple, and clear. Oh, you're talking about my party? Yes. I don't think I'm not going to give the relevance of getting a response from the campaign manager, national campaign manager of the United Democratic Party. I don't want to answer that question. The results will show what's happening in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sawe.